Hi, and thanks for clicking on this trauma tidbit. Quick, informative videos to help you become a more trauma-informed educator. So today we're going to talk about this book here, What Happened to You. I'm about done with it. I was excited. I had it on pre-order for months. I was excited about it because of the authors mainly. Obviously, you can see the first one's Oprah, who's doing amazing trauma-informed work in the schools that she runs and that she founded. And then also to the right here is Dr. Bruce Perry, who you probably all know by now, but I've really looked up to him professionally. He's amazing. He's one of the world's most renowned experts in the fields of trauma and brain development. So I'm reading the Kindle version along with the audio companion. Highly recommend doing both. Well, regardless of which version you read, I highly recommend the audio version to go along with it because both Oprah and Dr. Perry narrate, and they're using audio clips from a lot of them from Oprah's show, but they're really good practical examples to kind of talk through and show how people have experienced and both are healing from trauma. And I love how they've integrated that in. And it's always good to hear the authors actually talking about it. So we're going to look at a couple of quotes today. You've probably already read this one as I was talking. I thought they would be perfect to use, especially since this video is coming out during Teacher Appreciation Week. Dr. Perry in this book is discussing the process of healing from trauma, and he describes the concept of therapeutic dosing. So a therapeutic dose or a therapeutic moment of healing can actually come in seconds, helping someone feel heard, seen, valued, and most importantly, safe are just a few ways to create a therapeutic moment for a student or for anybody in your life. And as Dr. Perry says here, it doesn't just take place in like a 1 hour therapy session with an actual trained therapist. It can take place when we create consistently safe environments for students. And we do this because all adults in a building, but especially teachers, have this wonderful ability to over and over and over throughout the course of a school day, create these therapeutic moments of safety. And it's just, and connection, really, at the end of the day, we're talking about connection. So many of you probably remember, if you're my age or older, remember the events in Waco, Texas, several years ago where the Davidian compound was raided by the ATF and the FBI. There's even a recent Netflix documentary or docuseries about it. 21 children were released from that compound prior to the real tragic raids. And Dr. Perry, even back then, he was leading the cause and led a clinical team that was headed by the FBI to care for these children that were released. So this quote here is in reference to that experience. And what they did, Dr. Perry said, rather than force these children into some kind of actual formal therapy process with adults they didn't know, they used a team approach. And they simply created an environment that was built on consistency and routine to help these kids feel safe and to give them some power and control back. And what happened was they found that the children they were working with were able to inherently kind of figure out who they needed and what they needed from them at any given moment. And they gravitated to who that adult was. And by doing that, giving that control back and creating that space of safety, they allowed these children to own and drive their own healing process. And finally, I pulled out this portion of the quote because I believe it's exactly what we do with students when we're working at our best and when we're working together. We have to realize that we serve better when we allow everyone to, use their own strengths and let kids access that. And you can't be all things to all students, and that's okay. We've all heard that old adage, it takes a village to raise a child. And it's stuck around because it's true. And I just want to say as I close, I'm honored to serve with all you. If you are not a teacher, as Dr. Royster said today, if you're not a teacher, please thank one. And if you are, thank you for all the work you do, and happy Teachers Appreciation Week.